So yesterday we did kind of everything right, and then today I think I did everything wrong. So the good thing we can get out of that is I can now make a guide on what not to do. So today we're gonna make this video the what is it called? The complete guide, or the Dummies Guide to Emotional Trading, because I'm pretty sure that's what I did today. Although I kind of want to say I didn't do it, but looking back at it, going through the charts, going through the trades, I think it was a very emotional trading kind of day. And it all boils down to the fact that the lead gapper, I missed the first big run, and after the first big two halts, it died. It was just basically untradeable the rest of the day. And then I was kind of looking around. I was like on the hunt for the stock to trade. And then I found one, and it did the perfect move, and I missed it. So now it's like 10 o'clock and I don't have any trades in. So now I'm like, okay, I got 3 trades to make today. I wrap up trading typically by 10:30. Let's get going. And I think from there, back to back, I just made one mistake after another, which is a little bit stressful because there wasn't a lot, and it wasn't a hot trading day. And we kind of said it wasn't going to be the hottest trading day early on, but there were still some opportunities. And if I just focused on those opportunities, focused on the clear setups, focused on the easiest setups, which is probably the 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback, stuff like that, it could have been a green day. Just waiting for the entries to come to me. Instead, I'm front running. I'm trying to get early entries, and you'll see in a second. It was just a little bit of a disappointment of a trading day. So I hope you guys enjoy this emotional trading guide. On a more happy note, thanks for sticking around, guys, because today we hit 4,000 subscribers, which is super amazing. This all kind of started with just, documenting some of my trades. And then, eventually a few months back, I decided to stream some of my trading, or now specifically all my trading on this one strategy, and it's just absolutely blown up. So it's good fun. I've been learning so much from you guys in the stream. So I want to just kind of give my thanks for joining the channel and supporting it, or just joining the streams, because the streams are so much fun. And hitting that like button and leaving comments below so I can answer it and stay connected with you guys. For anyone that doesn't know and are totally new here, I go live every morning at 9:15 to first review the watch list and then trade the market open every day. So if you're totally new here, consider subscribing. I would love to see you in the upcoming live stream. Other than that, guys, I think it's time to dive into the charts and get started on this emotional trading guide. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, welcome, guys. Happy Friday, everyone. And thanks for being here, guys. We broke the 4,000 mark today. That's super awesome. Today, I want to do a little special. I want to talk about exactly how not to trade. And you know what? Yesterday we were on our 7th green streak today in a row, and today we definitely ruined that green streak a little bit. We ended the day not that red. We only ended the day negative $74.90. Not really the worst red day, especially for how ridiculous I guess I traded. So let me go and talk about exactly what you shouldn't do. So PTGX, this was kind of a late bloomer. I won't talk about it just yet. Let me go ahead and first talk about what we were watching out of the gates. And what we were watching out of the gates was FTEK. And FTEK was our lead gapper. Well, let me bring my little chart up here. 123%, 17 million float. And US Pollution and Treatment Company, we don't see that all the time, and they had some nice big orders come in. Unfortunately, this one out of the gates, pretty classic gap and go, broke higher, had one last pullback here, instantly broke higher, 25%, got halted, ran up, just beautiful. What did I do? Well, I didn't trade it because I missed this break here. It instantly got halted, and I'm just kind of sitting here on the fence like, oh man, I wanted to try to trade the pullback if there was a quick pullback. It opened up, basically gapped higher, and just kept on running, and then got halted again. And I'm like, well, there goes our lead gapper. Totally missed on that one. And by now, after these 2 halts and then got halted on the way down, I didn't really want to trade anything getting halted on the way down. It's basically 15 minutes into the market open. I have no trades yet. And I'm growing a small account. And I have to allocate the account properly. So every day I have 3 trades based on my allocation. And I kind of have this mental map in my head where I'm like, the first 15 minutes, I like to get 1 or 2 trades in. And then the second, from 9:30 or 9:45 to 10, it would be ideal to get that second or third trade in. And then by 10 to 10:30, I'm either done or looking for one more trade. So if it's already 9:45 and I haven't done any trades yet, I'm like getting a little bit antsy. So that's mistake number 1. Don't trade the clear lead gapper out of the gate, and or if you want to have trade emotionally, then don't trade the lead gapper out of the gate. Even though this is a perfect setup, I probably even should have bought this one 1 or 2 minutes into the market open, because sometimes these things fly so fast. And we just broke past the 1.8 area. This is a clear multi-month big resistance zone. So this would have been a really nice breakout here, buying the pullback, and then selling into that rip. That would have been really good. But now I'm basically not really trading with FOMO, but I'm definitely trading behind my schedule a little bit, which is horrible. You shouldn't have some sort of artificial limits, but that's the problem with trading with US brokers right now, because with a small account, because you're under the $25,000 limit. So what do? I'm looking for an opportunity, and then I'm like, no, WTRH was not that one. MRAM. Here's okay, so I missed the run up here. Broke out, wasn't really on our gap scanner because there wasn't a lot of volume here, but eventually it came on our watch list, was moving higher. We were looking at it when it was up about 45%. Now it's up about 60%. And then it had a nice healthy little pullback here. And then eventually it started going higher, and it broke past the $5 big resistance zone. Oh my God, my microphone is super out of the way. I apologize for that. Let me move this closer here. Hopefully that wasn't weird. Okay. So, we get one little last pullback here before I'm like, okay, this thing might pull back, but it might have a second attempt. I don't really like the fact that it's kind of light on volume. There's a lot of selling here, so I'm not going to trade it. This thing runs up, 6-7%. I could have done a nice little trade here. This was a pretty clean setup here, but what I look to do is trade something that is clearly having a lot of selling pressure, not a lead gapper, not a lot of attention on this one, at least when we were trading it, and trying to break a big breakout of 5.4. I don't know what I was doing there. Maybe I was doing a little bit of revenge trading. 5.4, I mean, we have that 5.5 level right above us. That's usually kind of a critical area in terms of, consolidating under that area. You want to break out from it quickly, and ideally buy the pullback back to that 5.5, not really, beforehand. And so we're chipping away 5.4. We chipped away for, I think, a second, and I placed my limit order when it looked like we were going to break out. Didn't get a breakout. And then I wasn't able, this exit was actually kind of ridiculous because we had 3 strong pulls to the downside. I tried to enter in this area and I just couldn't. I kept on getting a rejection here, and it was really annoying. I don't know why. This should have been like a 2-3% loss tops. I ended up taking like a 7-8% loss on it. The only thing I did right on this trade was the fact that I used smaller position size, because I knew that my first trade, based on a little bit shaky patterns in the past, sometimes isn't that great. So that reduced some of my risk a little bit. But why am I trading a pattern that is clearly high risk? A lot of selling momentum and just not that much volatility. So I basically trade here when I should have been trading something looking like it could break up again. And right here we have a nice 5-minute breakout to the upside. Right here on the 5-minute chart, you can see that breakout. We have a nice little pullback here. Could have entered there. Took 7% profit on the break of VWAP here. Then broke VWAP. If I missed this one, we had another 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback, and then another breakout here, 12%. 2 candles, could have made 6% on each candle and been happy. Why am I not trading the classic gap and go breakout pullbacks? Why am I trading something choppy in this area? I mean, okay, this one could have worked out, but risk reward wise, this one was very shaky. I mean, we just got rejected here. We just got rejected here. Why am I pushing it? I'm pushing it most likely because this was my first trade and it's already 10 o'clock. So I'm totally getting FOMO'd into it. I'm totally being emotional at this point. I got to say though, like, I'm only right about 63% of the time. The best traders only right about 70% of the time. Sometimes they get on a winning streak and they'll, get up to 80% of the time in a month or something like that. But on average, losses are part of the game. It's totally fine. So I wasn't really bummed out with this trade except the exit. The exit was really sloppy, and I don't know if I want to take full responsibility for that. I'm always going to take full responsibility. But this time, you can watch the trade recap video. I tried 3 times to get out of here, and all 3 times didn't work. And then eventually, I luckily got out on the bounce here. So that was really annoying. But that's what happens when you use a broker that is free. Sometimes, that's the cost of a free platform. Sometimes your execution isn't to what it should be. So great. Our lead gapper at this point, is disappearing. It's just getting halted on the way down. Volume's fading from it. No one's looking at it anymore. FTEK. MRAM, my second trade, first trade on the day at 10 o'clock, and I typically wrap up trading at 10:30. Was a big red trade. So now I'm like, oh man, I gotta do something here. So we're looking at VUZI. Every now and then I was trying to buy this one, dipping on the way down. I missed all these entries. I could have, I had a limit order at 51. I should have left it there. That would have been a nice little 9% rally here. So I kind of missed, this one VUZI, which was a lead gapper from the day before. But eventually, PTGX really catches our eyes. PTGX. And this one is worth crying about almost. And I missed the entry here. I was being a little bit too cautious. I don't know why, because I want to get more aggressive early on. And I was waiting for one more pullback here to, past maybe 11.50, getting to the $11. And the reason I was waiting for that is because right in this area between 11.50 and 12, we have major, just ridiculous amount of support and resistance. We have pivots and everything. I mean, there's a lot of volume that always happens in this area. What happens? We pull back to this area. We dip below 11.5 for a little bit here to 11.2, exactly what my entry would have been. And this thing rips up 27%. I missed this and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. That was the trade I wanted. So I was looking for a bit of a cup and handle here, a continuation pattern. We have a nice cup, we have the handle, we are getting ready for a breakout. I buy a potential breakout here, doesn't work. I ended up basically getting out for a small scratch. This was technically a win, but overall a scratch. Then we start kind of consolidating in this area. I'm like, okay, this looks like an ABC pattern. We have the A right here, we got the B, spike, we got the C, and now I'm looking for that D breakout, right? That's what I'm looking for. And guess what? It was a fake out. We broke higher here. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the candle to break higher, and then it pulls back here. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess this one didn't work, which is fine. Got to cut my losses. I get out of this trade for a 1% loss, and I close half my position here, half the position here, and into me breaking my second position. This thing runs up 10, 11%. And what should I say to that? Like, it's tough. Looking back at it, you could say maybe I was getting too aggressive here on this one because the volume hasn't fully come in yet. I mean, we were having more green volume in the past, and we technically were breaking out above this candle, which is a breakout signal. But it wasn't a big breakout like this. I could have waited till I saw a big green candle like this. That's probably what I should have done. I should have waited for this candle to really happen. I could have bought here into a quick little pullback. This thing didn't pull back that far, but I could have bought maybe at 13.5 or something like that. And then, bought this rip or got this rip to the upside, made 7%, took my profits, moved on, boom. I could have even waited, kept my limit order here. This almost never happens. This is kind of weird chop that you can almost disregard this candle. It does show a little bit of weakness, but other than that, I don't know. Yeah, it would have been maybe if you left over your limit order, could have had entry there. But this is like something you can't really plan for. But this is a nice move. Nice breakout, 1 minute pullback, continuation. Like even a 5-minute breakout there. It's just like, was I getting emotional here? Was I like, okay, it's already 10:25. Like I got 5 more minutes left to trade. Let me quickly squeeze this trade in. Or, if this was earlier in the day, I probably would have let this one, like if this was 9:30 here, or if 9:30 was here, this is like 9:10 or something like that. And I would have let this one consolidate a little bit more. Was I too emotional? Satoshi says yes in the chat room. And, looking back at it, probably, yeah, he's probably right. This one, I was looking for the cup and handle breakout, didn't get that one, whatever. This one, I was looking for the ABC pattern. I was probably too aggressive in entering this one because I wanted to squeeze it in. I didn't want it to run away from me. So yeah, this one was probably too emotional. I did stick to my risk management, and after the breakout didn't happen, I closed my trade. So I didn't really do anything wrong with the exit, but the entry was really the mistake. And I think the entry was executed because I was too eager to get a trade on this one. So then it ended up running up here like I planned. So, right thesis, wrong timing on this one. So that's a little bit painful, but whatever, it happens. I think it's really funny how PTGX actually ends up running like 26% from where I closed my position. It's kind of like an extra slap in the face. It's always tough when you call out a move and it happens. And that happened twice with PTGX. So, we called out this bottom reversal here, and then we called out this pattern here. Both of them ended up working, and somehow on 2 setups, I ended up losing money. So I think that's always like the toughest part with trading. I say that kind of a lot, but again, if I was a little bit more patient, I wasn't, overfueled by emotions to get in early here, what I could have done is wait for this thing to make some sort of flat top breakout. So we have big resistance at 4.5, right? Eventually we break 4.5 right here. We break above the kind of 14.9 area, multi-month support and resistance. We have a 1-minute pullback after a 5-minute breakout. And guess what? We continue to run another 11%. So there's a lot of potential entries, but if you want to be an emotional trader, the best thing to do is just kind of front run an entry indicator, and that's a guaranteed way to get chopped out. And that's what happened to me today. I just got chopped out. I front run. I didn't, I felt overwhelmed by maybe not getting the trades early on. And just, little amateur hour mistakes all over the place today. So I guess I deserve to end red a little bit. Whatever, it happens. Sometimes you're a little bit choppy. First thing, Monday morning, like always, I'm going to be starting with smaller position size. I'll probably trade. My ideal position size right now on my account balance is about $1,000. So if I trade maybe with 20% less, especially if it's a shaky setup, I think so going in with like $800 would be nice. And then the next 2 trades, depending on the position size, I can increase a little bit. But yeah, I mean, obviously I want to allocate a little bit more if it's a good setup, and I want to allocate a little bit less if it's a bad setup. But sometimes that first trade, it's nice that if it accidentally does go red, at least use the smaller position size, because that way it's easier to dig yourself out of the hole and it's not that bad. And if it's a green trade, well, then you're like, okay, you get a little bit of confidence behind you, get some wind in the sails, and then you might feel more confident entering that perfect setup. Yeah, I think that's really all that there is to it. So I hope you guys were able to take away something from this emotional trading guide. If you basically just front run good entry signals, then you might get shaken out. So if you want to do that, be my guest. Otherwise, do the reverse, wait for those entry signals, and then get aggressive. Just like a poker player, you want to be a tag player, you want to be tight and aggressive. When you see a good setup, that's when you want to get aggressive. When you see an entry signal, just like this big breakout here, that's when you want to get aggressive. Otherwise, you might as well just sit on your fingers. You want to keep your chips. You don't want to just, call anything. And PTGX, I probably did just kind of call anything, just like MRAM. So hopefully you guys were able to take away some hopefully good lessons, and also learn maybe what not to do a little bit as well. So have a great weekend, guys. Again, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being a subscriber, being part of the 4,000 subs here. I'm super excited to see where this channel goes. I was not really expecting this. I was just really documenting my trades. I really don't do that much advertisement for this channel, but it's good fun to have you guys there. The chat room is just absolutely exploding. It's really good fun there. And hey guys, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the content. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I'd love to see you in the chat room. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you first thing on Monday morning at 9:15 a.m. Till then, guys, ciao, ciao.